want to talk about significant experience I had many years ago. It's around 2000, I think, maybe a little bit before. I was, at the time, I was running Premier Hotels, where I was living in Scotland, and I had an apartment in London, and every week I would go down to London, fly down to London, usually on a Monday or Tuesday, and fly back on a Friday. So I would be busy during the week having business meetings, and at the weekend I would be trying to relax. Now, I had built a jacuzzi and a small swimming pool in my house in Scotland, actually with some money left to me from my father. And that's a different story. But what used to happen is I would come home the weekend and do a few lengths of the pool, and then sit in the jacuzzi and chill out. And it's very relaxing. And there was usually nobody else there. My wife and children were in the house, which was behind the swimming pool. So generally, I was there by myself. On this one occasion, I had done a few lengths, and was sitting in the jacuzzi, and I closed my eyes, and was immediately, I had this experience about being transported out of my body to a place which I came to understand eventually as being the throne of God. And what I could tell you about this experience was just, there was this throne made out of stone, but the stone itself was moving. It wasn't fixed. It was, if you can imagine this, looking at the side of this chair, which was enormously tall, many, many times bigger than me. And the side of the chair, I was looking at the side of the chair. I wasn't introduced to God. Let me be clear about that. But I was looking at the side of the chair, and there were patterns on the side of the chair in this made out of stone, and they were swirling. They were moving in intricate patterns. And whilst I watched, the pattern slowed down and stopped until it was literally as stone. And out popped a creature. It wasn't human, but it was of human type, 2 legs and 2 arms and a head and a body. And he got out of this, he came out of this chair, came across to me and jumped into my chest. No introduction or anything like that. Just jumped into my chest. No, I didn't feel anything particularly special about that until later on. And then the experience came to an end, and I was back in the jacuzzi. For a long time, I thought, oh, this is just a kind of fantasy dream. But I found that that there is this creature I come to view it as a real presence in my life, something I would say of a witness. And I'm at odd times in my life, I'm going along doing something, then I get a prompt from inside from this creature, and he says something to me, which is usually meaningful. It's never what I would call guidance, but it's asking questions and then showing consequences. The most recent question that is posed to me is, okay, Lucas, are you ready? Have you done everything that you felt that you needed to do in this life that you've been given? And before I could really answer it did make me think about it immediately. I thought, wow, what did I come here to do? But he gave me the answer about what it was that I came here to do. And I was shown what it was that I came here to do, which was to, from a soul perspective, it was to participate in this world with the aim of coming up against other souls in this world in a way of friction. The way I can best describe it is it's like grains of rice that get polished by being in close contact with each other, by being something like being in a washing machine. And that this process is one of clarification, of cleaning, and of purification. And that this has happened, that I came into this world to experience that cleaning, that purification, of which I have experienced that. I see that has happened. And now it's kind of normal for me to feel just closeness to what I call grace. And this is my soul experiencing contact with grace. And it's about me, where I am sitting. Am I sitting in the body, or am I sitting in the body, or is the I sitting in the soul? Because if the I is sitting in the soul, there are no problems. They feel from a soul's perspective, they just exist in a sea of bliss. Once it's been cleaned, that's what a soul does. It exists in a sea of bliss. And what came to me in this experience was that I've been shown that, you could go anytime. And if you go, then you've done your thing. But while you're here, retain that closeness to grace, to be a channel for grace to come into the world and do what needs to be done to earn a living, or whatever it is that you do that you find interesting. So this is the first talk that I'm going to record about this experience. So there we go.